Another step has been taken in Germany. Apparently technical, formally correct, and passed without fanfare. But it's part of a trajectory that's been progressing for years, a step that doesn't close anything but opens up new horizons. Some talk about evolution, some downplay it, and some, with growing uneasiness, are beginning to invoke a word that is never neutral in the Church: schism. To understand why, you need to take a closer look at what was just approved. Stay tuned. In recent days, the Catholic Church in Germany has taken a new step that rekindles a now structural confrontation between profoundly different ecclesial visions. This is not a sudden move or an isolated decision, but the final act, for now, of a process that began years ago and has reached a particularly delicate stage. In Stuttgart, at the end of the Sixth Assembly of the so-called Synodal Path, a resolution was approved authorizing the creation of a future National Synodal Conference. The vote narrowly exceeded the required 2/3 qualified majority. This is a formal, verifiable, and therefore significant result. According to the approved text, the future Synodal Conference should verify how the synodal resolutions are implemented at the diocesan level. The issue is not merely organizational. In the Catholic structure, the diocesan bishop is not a delegate of an assembly, but the holder of the pastoral governance of his own particular church. Any mechanism that even indirectly introduces a form of stable supervision over episcopal work raises primary canonical and ecclesiological questions. It is no coincidence that during the debate, positions emerged that were striking for their clarity. Cardinal Reinhard Marx, Archbishop of Munich, and Freising, a figure historically associated with the reformist currents of the German episcopate, took the floor to express a clear reservation. "I don't want this," he declared, warning against the risk of creating a higher authority that could interfere in the governance of the dioceses. His words were neither marginal nor symbolic. They marked a rift within the camp supporting the project. The Bishop of Mainz, Peter Kohlgraf, took the same line, stating that a body overseeing bishops would be in contradiction with the principles of the Catholic Church. Again, this was not an external or ideological criticism, but an objection formulated from within the assembly. At the very moment the decision was being taken. Statements from other prelates were of a different nature. The Bishop of Essen, Joseph Overbeck, expressed confidence in the outcome of the dialogue with Rome, stating that the Holy See has been informed of the plans and that approval could come in the coming weeks. To those who raised the possibility of a Vatican refusal, the president of the German Bishops' Conference, Georg Betzing, responded that he had no indication of such a refusal, assuring that nothing would be initiated without Roman consent. These statements, however, coexist with a less reassuring fact. During the debate, several participants complained about a persistent lack of communication from the Holy See. Letters sent without a reply, messages left unanswered, not even a confirmation of receipt. Speaking publicly, theologian Thomas Söding declared that regardless of developments, the future of the Church in Germany will continue along the synodal path. A statement that, for some observers, sounds more like a declaration of intent than a statement of facts. To understand the significance of the current moment, it is necessary to place it in a broader perspective. The German Synodal Path was presented from the beginning as a temporary initiative born in response to a crisis. Over time, however, its nature has changed, from consultation to deliberation, from listening to voting, from reflection to the design of permanent structures. The Stuttgart vote does not conclude this process, but brings it to a decisive threshold. The decision, however, does not equate to the actual birth of the new structure. The Synodal Conference does not yet exist as an operational body. Its statutes must be drafted, discussed, and voted on by the German Bishops' Conference, which will decide at the end of February. And, above all, the entire structure must obtain the approval of the Holy See. Without the Roman Recognitio, nothing can come into force. This point has been publicly reiterated by the promoters themselves, who have ruled out proceeding unilaterally. Yet, reducing what happened to a technical issue would be misleading. The Stuttgart vote introduced in black and white a principle that until now had remained suspended between ambiguous formulations and procedural delays. The possibility that a national synodal body can monitor the implementation of synodal decisions in individual dioceses. It is on this term, monitoring, that the most bitter dispute has focused. The Vatican had previously intervened to clarify that a permanent synodal council, endowed with governing powers, was not compatible with the order of the Catholic Church. These reservations have never been formally withdrawn. Instead, they remain in the background of every subsequent step. The real game will now be played out on the statutes. It will be there that we will see whether the approved principle will be translated into a binding mechanism or brought within limits more compatible with canon law. It will be there that Rome will have to make its decision, no longer with declarations of intent, but with concrete texts. And whatever the outcome, the consequences will not be painless. An approval without amendments would set a significant precedent, introducing a new form of synodal coordination with direct effects on episcopal governance. A clear refusal would spark deep tensions with one of Europe's most influential national churches. Either way, the decision will have implications beyond Germany's borders. The pontificate of Pope Leo XIV thus finds itself faced with a dossier that intertwines disciplinary, doctrinal, and pastoral issues. It is not a matter of choosing between reform and immobility, but of clarifying how far synodality can go without altering the sacramental structure of the Church. This is a question that concerns not only Germany, but the entire Catholic horizon. For now, the certainty is this: the Synodal Conference has been authorized internally, the monitoring principle has been approved, the episcopal resistance has emerged publicly, and Rome has not yet spoken. Everything else remains pending. But it is precisely in this suspension that the gravity of the moment is measured. It is not yet the point of no return. It is, however, a threshold, and the history of the Church teaches that thresholds, once crossed, rarely remain without consequences. What do you think? If you liked the video, comment, Amen. God bless you.